concerns either testifying or testimony for Ghislaine Maxwell potentially before Congress, or if you would support members like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Anna Paulina Luna on the release of subpoenaing the Epstein documents from the DOJ, whether you would support either of those.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Marjorie or Anna about that specific subject, but I'm for transparency. We're intellectually consistent in this. Look, Reagan used to tell us we should trust the American people. I believe in that principle. I know President Trump does as well, and I trust him. I mean, he put together a team of his choosing, and they're doing a great job. It's a very delicate subject, but we should put everything out there and let the people decide it. I mean, the White House and the White House team are privy to facts that I don't know. I mean, this isn't my lane. I haven't been involved in that. But I agree with the sentiment that we need to put it out there. And you know, Pam Bondi, I don't know, when she originally made the statement, I think she was talking about documents, as I understood it, they were on her desk. I don't know that she was specific about a list or whatever, but she needs to come forward and explain that to everybody. I like Pam. I mean, I think she's done a good job. We need the DOJ focusing on the major priorities. So let's get this thing resolved so that they can deal with violent crime and public safety and election integrity and going after Act Blue and the things that the president is most concerned about, as we are. So I'm anxious to get this behind us.
So Judicial Committee hearing, that would be most likely the committee where Ghislaine Maxwell would testify. Would you be in favor of that?
Absolutely. Yes. Of course, we want answers. No one is satisfied with what has been received or lack thereof. No one is satisfied with the rollout of this. Of course, we've heard that Dan Bongino is not satisfied with the rollout of this either. And, you know, I mean, I think you hear time and time again what an honorable stand-up man Dan Bongino is. President Trump, he obviously thinks highly of Attorney General Pam Bondi. I don't know her personally, but I know Dan. And he's a wonderful man, and I have no reason to doubt him. And I think moving forward, we need a special counsel. That has got to happen. There has to be a special investigation into this if we aren't going to be provided information. Now, there's a lot of things that Attorney General Pam Bondi is doing well. Of course, President Trump is doing many things well. The FBI is doing a great job. Our Department of Homeland Security is, you know, this mass deportation machine on steroids, and now they have the funding to go after it even more. But this is something, I hope it doesn't become a false idol to Republicans where we just lose sight of everything else. But that doesn't mean we don't want answers. There are plenty of good things to focus on, and still more that we need to do to really get through the next 4 years and hopefully the next 8 years in a Republican majority. God help us, God willing. And so this is certainly important, and I want answers. And maybe that takes that special counsel to do so. Maybe Matt Gaetz can lead the special counsel.
Would you vote in favor of that?
Absolutely. Yes. You know, Matt spoke highly of Pam Bondi and saying, you know, that she's the best attorney general that President Trump has had. But yeah, Matt Gaetz as a special counsel, absolutely.
Best advice for Pam Bondi is what? Very quickly.
You know, take the ball and run with it. People want to see accountability. There have been a lot of investigations. The deep state has been exposed thanks to Radcliffe and Kash Patel. Let's start prosecuting these people. Let's set some examples out of some people.
Will you be in favor of Ghislaine Maxwell testifying?
Absolutely. I've posted on this. And if she were to testify, I think she could answer a lot of questions that could help put all of this in perspective.
Yes. Do you have any instincts on what exactly was happening here? That does seem to be the rub, right? I know you know Tucker really well. I know you know Dan Bongino. I know you know a lot of these players. They're not monsters. They want the truth.
Right.
Dan didn't take a 10,000% pay cut, right, to come up here and carry water for the deep state. That didn't happen. Like I'm telling you, it didn't happen.
Right.
I know him and you know him.
Yeah, I know a lot of these players. Some of them are disagreeing with each other. Dan Bongino and I have been really good friends for the last 14 years, and good friends with Kash Patel and also with Pam Bondi. I like all of them. I think there is a way to draw a straight line between all of them in a way that will satisfy the public's both curiosity and legitimate demand to know what happened.
Okay.
People really want to know what's going to happen next with Epstein. They want to know, like, can the FBI review the terror? Here's one from Knock. Can the FBI review the terabytes of information? Can we get Ghislaine Maxwell before Congress? Would you support that?
I fully support the transparency on this issue, Benny. I 100% support that. I also think Pam Bondi is doing a great job in many ways. I'm thrilled. I worked with her this past week to get her to drop the case against Dr. Kurt Moore, the doctor that was being prosecuted and was on trial under the Department of Justice for you know what he did? He protected kids and protected people from COVID vaccine mandates. And he gave them fake vaccine cards and he injected them with saline. And that guy did exactly, I think he's a hero. And Pam Bondi dropped his charges. But I really think Pam and Cash and Dan can come up with a good solution to this. And I was excited to hear Laura Trump say that there's more information coming out. And I think that's the right thing to do. And it's okay to continue to push for it. It's great. I think everyone needs to understand that you hold your leaders accountable for what you voted for them to do. That includes myself, that includes all Republicans, that includes the president that you elected. That's exactly what the American people are supposed to do.
This is a question that we have. It's one of the most popular questions, and you're one of our single most popular guests, Congressman.
And I'm incredibly good looking. You forgot to throw that in.
And he's handy. He's handy
You
with
wearing
a
coat and tie. What's up with that, dude?
I know, man. We had the. I didn't want to Zelensky the speaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right
Right
on. I can't Zelensky
That's class
the speaker.
act. That's classy.
That's
I
right.
take the suit.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother.
So here we go. Please ask this question to him. Please, Mr. Congressman. Epstein was a human trafficker. Who was he trafficking humans to? Ghosts or actual people? Are there any members of Congress that are being blackmailed because of this?
Well, I have no idea. I think that's generally the gist of what his operation was about. But here's my thoughts on it. Everybody says Trump's on that list. Well, Trump's not on that list. Obviously, if he was, Biden would have released that day one. And now the trail's so dry, I'm afraid anything we get out could have been doctored with. And I think if there was any lists that they got destroyed. But I tell you, criminals don't make lists. Accomplished criminals, they don't say, oh, I did this on this date, this on that date, because it's just, and the one thing, a caveat, it's a big word for me, but for all my folks out in East Tennessee, anything y'all gotta watch is what that really means is this manifest from this plane, because it doesn't necessarily mean somebody's a pedophile because they rode on his dadgum plane. Here's what happens. I know rich people and they travel by plane. I don't, of course, not a rich person. I make my own skateboard.
By skateboard, that's right.
But they, say I'm flying to New York. Hey, a buddy of mine's flying, is leaving tomorrow. My plane's down. He said, well, just ride with us. I'll hook it up. And they get on the plane and it's Epstein's freaking plane and he's not even on it. And so they're on the manifest. And then all of a sudden they could be labeled a pedophile. And I think that is some of the concern of the president right now is that. But I think they ought to put that out if they put out a manifest, they ought to say these people are not under consideration or they weren't flying to the island or what have you. That's my thought on that. But I don't think it's like everything else in this town. It's the trail's gone cold a long time ago. And I think if they didn't release it the first month, which I said they wouldn't, which you and I have said repeatedly, that we're never going to get it. We're never going to get the trail. I mean, it's like you trust us to give you the Kennedy files.